In a small, quiet village tucked away between two towering mountains, there lived a young boy named Ollie. His family had always struggled to make ends meet. His father was a simple farmer, toiling under the sun from dawn till dusk, while his mother worked at home, caring for their small livestock and doing household chores. Life in the village was simple, but the dreams that Ollie held were far from it. Ollie had a vision, one that soared far beyond the limits of his village. From a young age, he wanted to become a doctor. He had seen the suffering around him, the illnesses that took lives too soon, and the helplessness on the faces of those who could not afford proper medical care. To him, becoming a doctor wasn't just a career, it was a mission to bring hope and healing to his people. But the path ahead was fraught with challenges. Medical school required money, more money than his family had ever seen. His parents could hardly afford to send him to a local school, let alone cover the costs of a medical education in the city. But Ollie was determined. His parents, though worried about the burden it would place on them, saw the fire in their son's eyes and promised to support him in any way they could. Ollie's journey began with small sacrifices. While other children in the village played after school, Ollie stayed indoors, buried in his books. Every evening, he sat under the soft glow of an oil lantern, studying late into the night. His family couldn't afford electricity, so the faint, flickering light was all he had to read by. Sometimes his vision blurred with fatigue, and his hands ached from writing, but he pressed on. He knew that every page he read brought him closer to his goal. As time passed, the weight of Ali's ambition began to grow. When he completed high school, the family had to make a choice. They sold a portion of their farmland, a piece of land that had been in the family for generations, to fund his entry into medical school. It was a heartbreaking decision for his father, who had worked that land his entire life. But they all knew that without sacrifice, there could be no success. In the city, Ollie faced even greater challenges. Living away from home, he felt the sting of loneliness. The hustle and bustle of the city was overwhelming compared to the serene village life he was used to. Every month, his family sent him a small sum of money, barely enough to cover his rent and food. To make ends meet, Ollie took on part-time jobs. He cleaned a local clinic after hours, sweeping floors, washing equipment, and taking out the trash. While others saw it as menial work, Ollie saw it as an opportunity to learn. He would watch the doctors and nurses as they worked, absorbing everything he could. Many of them took notice of his dedication and admired his persistence. However, the road to success was anything but smooth. There were times when Ollie questioned whether he could continue. The pressure of his studies, combined with the constant worry about his family's financial situation, weighed heavily on him. His friends often invited him out to relax, but Ollie rarely accepted. Every moment of his time was dedicated to either studying or working. There were no weekend trips, no festivals, no celebrations. While his classmates enjoyed their youth, Ollie was missing out on it. But deep down, he knew that sacrifices were necessary. Success comes at a cost, he would tell himself on difficult days. And this is the price I must pay. Years passed. The sleepless nights, the endless hours of studying, the part-time jobs, it all began to pay off. Ollie graduated at the top of his class, earning the title of Dr. Ollie. But his journey was far from over. Rather than staying in the city, where he could earn a high salary and enjoy a comfortable life, Ollie made a different choice. He decided to return to his village. When he arrived, the people were overjoyed. They had followed his journey from afar, and now, they were seeing the fruit of their sacrifices. Ollie set up a small clinic, offering medical services to the villagers, many of whom had never had access to a proper doctor before. He worked tirelessly, treating the sick, delivering babies, and educating people on how to take care of their health. The village transformed. People no longer had to travel long distances for medical care. They had their own doctor, someone who understood them, cared for them, and shared in their struggles. Ali's parents watched with pride as their son became not just a healer, but a beacon of hope. Looking back, Ali realized that every sacrifice he had made, whether it was missing out on sleep, giving up social events, or seeing his family sell their land, had been worth it. The path had been long and difficult, but it had led him to where he was meant to be. His success was not measured in wealth or status, but in the lives he touched, the people he healed, and the hope he brought to a once-forgotten village. Ali's story is a testament to the truth that success and sacrifice are two sides of the same coin. One cannot exist without the other. And as Ali often told the younger children who looked up to him, if you are willing to sacrifice for your dreams, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. Let's learn some words from the story. Tucked away. Meaning, hidden or placed in a quiet or safe spot. Example, the old diary was tucked away in a drawer, forgotten for years. Toiling. Meaning, working very hard for a long time. Example, the farmers were toiling in the fields from sunrise to sunset. Soared. Meaning, flew or increased very high and quickly. Example, the company's profits soared after the new product launch. Fraught. Meaning, full of or filled with something unpleasant, like problems or difficulties. Example, the journey was fraught with danger as they crossed the desert. Fatigue. Meaning, extreme tiredness or exhaustion. Example, after running the marathon, he collapsed from fatigue. Sting of loneliness. Meaning, a painful feeling of being alone. Example, she felt the sting of loneliness when all her friends had left for the weekend. Menial work. Meaning, boring or unimportant work that doesn't require much skill. Example, he was stuck doing menial work, like cleaning the floors and taking out the trash. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until then, keep shining bright with Story Light.